Fire, air, water, earth, mixed in cosmic alchemy to create the world of Esfah. Life's children were born of many forms and shared a kinship with their component elements. Selumari, or coral elves, born of wind and wave, as at home upon the sea as beneath its comforting surface. Ever questing, they sought the most idyllic of seaside promontories upon which to build their graceful coral-towered cities. So too did the Selumari ever seek to create the most ethereal poetry and songs to celebrate the harmony of tide and sky. The Vaga, dwarves, stolid children of earth and fire, tirelessly they strode the loftiest highlands of Esfah before shaping their craft halls from the living heart rock. They filled those halls with the finest crafted objects. Gem-encrusted works of art were created as a tribute to life's bounty of the earth and fire. The Vaga and Selumari enjoyed the satisfaction of laboring and resting in the midst of harmony and plenty. Younger races were born, and their cultures flourished through nature's beneficence. The elder races lived and worked side by side, with no more than good-hearted rivalry between each race's master craftsmen, to see who might create the item of the greatest usefulness or beauty. Happiness and contentment flourished throughout nature's realms. However, not all were pleased with things as they were. Nature is bound to propagate life, but so too must death have his due. The master of decay grew jealous with the success of nature's children. In cruel mockery, death spawned children of his own. The cruel Morel, called lava elves for their heat of their anger and the destructiveness of their rages, as much as their kinship with fire and death. Hot-tempered necromancers, they were the antithesis of everything that their sea-born brethren embody. Morel craftsmen found art only in the creation of tools of pain and death for their dark master. The swamp-dwelling trogs or goblins were created as well, born of earth, but reveling in decay through rot rather than destruction by flame. They were created in vile mockery of the peaceful dwarves, cunning and stealthy. These also practiced depraved necromantic arts. Trogs built nothing but dissension and strife as they sought to rule their own petty tribes. Assassination being the preferred method of ascension. Tools of death find value only in destruction. The peaceful dwarves were caught completely unawares by the ferocity of the lava elf's attacks. Many were slain before the dwarves learned to turn their hammers to the creation of the tools of war. But the dwarves did learn, and the lesson of death was well learned. The coral elves were also taken by surprise when the hordes of foul goblins exploded out of their swamps in a merciless frenzy of destruction, all in the name of their dark lord of decay. The coral elves learned to defend themselves, and then to strike back at those who would slay them if they could. Violence and death were everywhere. Tempers burned, and blood flowed as the fever of bloodshed swept Esfah. All races vied with one another for survival, as lines of battle were drawn across the face of Esfah. Death and chaos raged as all sought survival, if not ultimate victory. Some of the races called upon creatures that they had befriended to help fight their foes. Other races summoned fierce abominations, using the power of death's magic. The elemental forces that all of the peoples of Esfah call upon as readily as breath itself were twisted into hateful elemental dragons, capable of awesome destructive power. Finding too late that such creatures are much easier to summon than they are to dispel. Hungry dragons have no conscience. The constant tide of war did not dissipate as time passed. As the dead increased, they too bid death's will to join the fray. Even the denizens of the distant sun felt a kinship with the fiery chaos of constant battle and flocked to join in the raw destruction. This is the world of Esfah. Will the roll of fate allow you to master it?